Hi, I'm Sarah from Blossom Yoga and Wellness, located here at 120 North Main Street in Concord, New Hampshire. I'm going to lead you through a little yin practice to warm up the spine. So if you have some props, gather them up. I'm going to have a bolster, a blanket, and some blocks. You don't have to have props. I'll show you how to use them. Even a pillow at home or books would be fine if you don't have blocks. And again, you don't have to use them. I will show you modifications to the poses to bring that floor up to you and make the poses maybe a little bit more comfy. So let's get started. So we're going to come into our first pose. We're going to take that bolster behind us. And it's going to be almost like a little tail coming right out from your hips. If this is going to be too low for you, I invite you to take one of your blocks and add it to underneath the top of the bolster, making it more like a ramp, taking some pressure off the lower spine. You can also bring a blanket behind you for your head to fill up that gap between your cervical spine. So take yourself down, and we're going to take our arms and draw them all the way out to the side. Palms up for that big open receiving feeling. Palms down to root and ground today. If you don't have space in that lower back and this is causing a lot of pain or discomfort in the lower back, just bend your knees, maybe walk the feet out, come into constructive rest pose, knees into touch. You decide where you want to go. Close those eyes and let's give ourselves a moment to land on our mat. Soften through the face. Feel your jaw relax, those back teeth start to make some space. Unwind down the neck. Let the head be supported by the bolster, the shoulders. Feel that space opening between the collarbones as you breathe. Letting our day thus far start to just fizzle away from the mind and the body. Taking this little time to enter practice, to just land here. To feel the back of the body rooting and grounding into your space. While the front of the body has that complete opposite sensation. It's open with space and ease. As you allow yourself to land here, following the wind of the natural rhythm and pace of breath. Imagine yourself just melting into that bolster like warm honey, letting go of effort and letting gravity just pull you down. No need to flex the toes in any way. Just let them go. Maybe just give them a little wiggle to remind them that we're in yin and it's all about turning inward and letting go. As we come into our poses today, we'll use our breath to open space, to center us, to root and ground, and to just be here in the moment. Remembering through your poses that if you choose to stay here a little longer than our 2 to 3 minute hold here, then just pause your TV, computer, whatever you're watching us on, and take more time in the poses. With that said, if the pose gets a little bit too much and you need to come out of it, just take yourself out into a different pose, coming into maybe flat on your back, on your belly, a little early rebound. There's no right or wrong in this practice. It's all about tuning in and listening to the body's needs. As you breathe that natural rhythm and pace of breath through your poses, maybe bringing that mantra into your mind, breathing in ease and letting go of tension. Letting yourself completely be in the moment, mind, body, and breath. Let's take one more big breath. Fill up that belly like a big balloon. And then exhale it all out. You could use your mouth for that big sigh of release. One more time. We'll slowly take ourselves out of the pose whenever you're ready by pulling the hands to the sides of the body, tucking the chin and slowly rounding up through the vertebrae, letting the head come up last. taking your bolster, whatever you have behind you, and just moving it to the side, letting yourself come back down to your back, coming into a little bit of rebound where we feel the echo of the pose happening in the body. If your body craves movement in your rebound rather than stillness, you could hug those knees in here, feel that lower part of the back flatten into the mat. Maybe rock side to side. Just keep it nice and slow if you do choose movement in your rebound. Good. Just taking a minute here to relax and release from the pose. Rebound's a great time to tune in, to really pick up on those sensations in the body. Enjoying a little bit of stillness. And just like our poses, if you need more time in these little slivers of rebound, you can go ahead and take more time here. Again, just push pause on whatever device you're watching us on and take more time here. We're going to start to set up for our next pose. I'll just talk through it and then you can decide where you want to go. So we're going to come into a twist, bringing our up into our chest first. So squeeze them in, and then we're going to lower that right leg down to the mat. You're going to take your hands, sweep them to the outside of that left thigh, and then drag it across the body over towards that over towards the right. Left arm can come out, take up some space, open that shoulder. So here you can see my knees not touching the floor, so I can bring props into my practice. Maybe I grab my bolster and bring it over there to fill up that space. Block could even work there. If you want to get a little extra neck stretch into your twist, take your gaze and look over that left thumb. And then follow that breath into the stillness. Maybe bringing that mantra back into the mind, breathing in ease. And letting go of tension. If your mind starts to wander through your practice, don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. It's probably the hardest part of this stillness we find, is letting yourself be content with that stillness in the body, in the mind. Before you move your body out of your pose, let's take that nice big expansive sip of breath in and let it all out. Feel yourself release into the pose one more time. Let it all go. And then slowly unwind yourself back to the back of your body. If you want, you can take that bolster and just scoot it over towards the opposite side. And we'll come into a bit of stillness into that rebound. Letting ourselves feel that echo of that pose we just took, that sensation. Maybe it's between kind of bouncing your awareness from the right side of your body to the left, picking up on any differences. Maybe one leg might feel a little different than the other, the hip, the back of the body, lower back. Just kind of toggle your awareness back and forth through these spaces. It's like taking a little journey through yourself, a little curiosity of the inner body, feeling those connective tissues kind of creep back to where they naturally live in us. Yin's a lot like stretching honey. So when honey's warm, we can stretch really big, but our natural tissue doesn't come back to its shape really quickly. And so when we're cool in these cool, slow practices, we're stretching that tissue and letting it come back to its shape fairly quickly. It's like your gym for your connective tissue. Good. And then when you're ready, let's set up for that on the other side. Again, pause if you need more time here. We're going to drag the knees back up to the chest. Both come in. Squeeze them in nice and big. And then release that left leg out. We'll set up for the twist on the other side, sweeping the hands to the outside of that right thigh and dragging that right knee over towards the left. Again, you can bring your bolster underneath you if you want, like I have, or you don't need it. And then you can take your right arm out to the side. Maybe you want a neck stretch to add to your pose, so you gaze over that thumb. Taking your time getting into the pose as well. Don't ever feel rushed getting into a yin posture. It's a nice practice to really set yourself up to sink into stillness, to really find your just right space. And we all look different because our bodies are different. So find your just right space and see if you can take a couple breaths and sink in and let go. Think of yin as a little bit of effortless awareness in the body where you're just kind of watching those thoughts like passing clouds, breathing into all those little edges of yourself. Before we move out of our pose, let's bring ourselves back to the physical body. Take a nice big breath in, fill all the spaces of the pose. And then let it all go. Feel yourself sink one more time into that twist. Find a little bit more release. And then slowly walk yourself back out of the pose. We'll do one more rebound here on our back before coming up to our seat. So enjoy a little bit of nothing time here. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more balanced between the hips. Again, if rebound is a time where you feel like you need some movement, bringing both knees in might feel good again. Maybe taking both feet down with knees bent, taking some windshield wipers side to side might feel really nice. Or just finding that stillness, letting yourself sink into your space, taking that little inner journey. It's a good time to those body scans where we just let our awareness kind of float from one part of our body to the next without attaching or judging any feeling. And not staying too long in one space. Sometimes when we have chronic pain in our bodies, we tend to stick in one place and let it tell its story. Just move right past it. We acknowledge it. We know it's there, but it doesn't get our full attention. Just let it go. A couple more breaths here in your rebound, wherever you may have taken yourself. When you start to feel ready, again, take your time here. You can stay here as long as you want. We want to come out of rebound and come up super slow. So I would suggest bending the knees, rolling to one side, and then taking your hand into the earth and pressing yourself up. Keep that chin tucked on your way up. You want your head to be the last thing to come up. So we keep our nervous systems in that state of peace and ease. So coming up, you might want to come up and take some neck circles, maybe a little shoulder shrugging since we've been down on the floor for a little bit. Any little movement that feels good in the neck and shoulder area. Just stay slow, that really intentional movement where you're feeling all the little crinkles and pops in your neck, your shoulders. And then we'll set up for our last pose. So we're going to come into that big wide dragonfly. So if you want to come, I'm going to stay on the long edge of my mat so my heels are under the mat rather than on the floor. A couple different things here that you can do in your body with props. So if I'm feeling a lot of tension in my hamstrings, maybe that's a good indicator to one, bring the blocks underneath the knees, or if you have blankets, that would work too. Or just little micro bends in the knees as well, keep some pressure off the hamstrings. If my hips are feeling really tight while I'm in this shape, maybe those hip flexors, I sit on my bolster or blanket, and I want to sit right on the edge of it. So my knees drop further down than my hip flexors. That's going to give me more space and openness to come forward when I choose my forward fold. So just a couple different options with those props. Blanket, again, is always good to sit on. And then we want to let our feet just drape out to the side. We don't want to point them, flex them, just let them go. And then you're going to find your forward fold here by walking yourself down. Here's another area in our practice where we can bring a prop. So here we can stay right here if this is feeling good, letting the chin just kind of hang down. At any point where you need some relief in the head, you could find an inhale and just look up and then slowly come back down. You can add props in front of you. Maybe your forward fold brings you down to the bolster. The bolster can come up like a little bridge in front of you with the blocks underneath you. Maybe you come down here. Maybe your forward fold isn't high today. It's or low today, it's high. So you bring that bolster underneath the head. This can be your forward fold, like a little kickstand underneath the head. So choose where your forward fold takes you. I always say not all forward folds are created equal. So find yours where you can sink and settle into. Remember, we're going 30 to 70% of our body's ability to be in these poses. So find what works the best for your body and start to melt in. Before you move out of the pose, let's take that big expansive breath. Imagine your back of your body filling up with breath. And then as you exhale, the front of the body sinks a little deeper into your space. You find that release. Slowly walk yourself up, tuck that chin, let yourself roll up nice and slow off that bolster. Head comes up last. You can take some neck shrugs, shoulder shrugs. Maybe you take some circles with the neck, moving your props out of the way, bringing those legs back together, and we'll end in the ultimate rebound, our Shavasana, or I like to call it our nothing time. So let's bring ourselves into a comfortable posture. If you don't want to be flat on your back, you have all these props around you, so maybe bring the bolster under your knees, take some weight off your legs, blanket under your head for a little bit more comfort, and let's let ourselves journey down into a space where we can rest, restore, and digest from our practice. And you can stay here as long as you want. Relax those eyes. Let them sink back down deep into their homes. Allow that space between the eyebrows to unwind and let go like a ball of string, just losing its shape as you relax a little bit deeper with each breath from here. Releasing the jaw, letting go through the back of the mouth, separating the teeth, peeling the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, letting it just set on the back of the top teeth, feeling the wind of breath in the throat, relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Imagine all the tension, stress, and tightness that you keep on those shoulders just dissolving into the space beneath you. Relax your arms, your hands, and all your fingers. Release any gripping or holding through the hips and the glutes. Relax the right leg and the left leg, your ankles, your feet, and all your toes. Letting peace be the journey into your relaxation time, your Shavasana. Spend as much time as here as you need. We'll catch you in our next video. Thank you, yogis, and namaste from us at Blossom to you at home.